Alright everybody, Divu here. I'm here for another Radical Highway tutorial video. This time it'll be a trick that I hold very near and dear to my heart, the loop speed trick here at the end. I spent a lot of time into learning how to do this RTA, and I'm very excited to show you guys how to do it. So the first thing I'm going to be doing here is just showing off the trick, and then I will be sort of breaking it down. So you do loop speed just like that, and you land up here. So the first thing I want to talk about here in this trick is where the loop speed trigger actually is. It's about where this line of squares is, so if I approach it, I'll get carried by the loop speed. That's just very important to note where it starts, because that's one of the biggest elements of this trick. Right, so the next part of this trick that's very important to note is entering the loop speed trigger while not holding a direction. It's important that you enter this loop speed trigger while neutral sticking, because loop speed doesn't actually trigger until you hold a direction. I'll show off what I mean right now. So I'm just going to spin dash in here. You can see that I haven't actually been affected by loop speed at all. But if I just walk here, you see that loop speed immediately carried me over the loop. Now that we understand how the loop speed works and how the loop works, I'm going to show off how I set up this trick. So I move down here, I unroll, and I spin dash, all while neutral sticking after the unroll. And you'll see that shadow sort of carries along this weird direction, and this is actually very beneficial to us. So he sort of carries around in this direction, this like semi-loop here. This is awesome because that's shadow moving in the direction we want him to without us actually having to move him in that direction, which means we don't have to trigger loop speed until we want to trigger loop speed. Alright, so the next part of this trick is to know when to jump. You want to jump while also neutral sticking, which is very important to note. So we're going to go down here, we're going to unroll, we're going to spin dash, and we're going to want to jump around here. This is like sort of like the perfect angle for shadow to be at for this trick, but it works at a bunch of different angles. Like we'll work here, it'll work here, and it'll even work here. So I'll show that off. So jump. So I like to pause when I jump, and this is just so I buffer my inputs, because as soon as you jump up in the air, you can start holding a direction. When you start holding a direction, that immediately triggers loop speed. So now I have loop speed, but since I'm not actually on the loop anymore, I can sort of move where I want to before I actually do a loop speed launch. Show off that loop speed launch right now. So I'll get over this edge, and then I'll loop speed launch. The next part of this trick I want to show off here is why I buffer my inputs. The reasoning for this is because you need to start holding your direction a frame or so after you jump so that you maintain loop speed properties. Let's say I do this trick and I and I move for a while without holding my direction, then I won't have loop speed properties. But something worth noting is if I hold my direction, I actually hold loop speed properties for a while, like about a second afterwards, and that's pretty good to know for when you're only going to do the trick with like a pause or pauseless, because it gives you a little bit more leniency. So the last thing I'm going to go over here is the actual loop speed launch itself, and then I'm going to go over a couple variations of the trick, because the way I do the trick isn't 100% consistent. So spin dash jump, neutral stick while you jump. You're going to hold your direction, and then you want to get over this ledge. Once you're over the ledge, you want to hold a direction that's kind of like this, and then launch like that. So another thing I want to talk about here is what to do with shadow when he lands on the top of the ledge. So you're going to have all this crazy loop speed properties, like what just happened to me there. And jumping is a solution, but I like to just let him oops here, because if you jump, you could just like fly off the edge or even fly down this way. But if you just like let him oops here, then you can just run up here and do gap jump like normal. Which if you don't know how to do gap jump, I have another video for that. Alright, so I showed you how to do the trick if the trick is going to go perfectly. That's if you jump at the exact right angle and you loop speed launch at the exact right speed, you're going to land on the top, which doesn't always happen. So if that doesn't happen and you need to sort of still make the trick work though, you can do this. So you can land on the spring and come up here. It's still faster than taking the pulls up, but there's a little bit more to it than just landing on the spring. So you need to come up, you need to come at the spring at this angle. If you come at it from straight up and down like this, it's just not going to work because Shadow's going to end up like at a weird angle. I'll show that off right now. So if I come down straight on it, I'm going to end up like that, which just isn't going to work. The next thing I'm going to show off here is how to do the loop speed trick with one pause. The reason why I want to show off how to do it this way is because obviously it's good for story mode, but the other reason is because I actually find it easier to land on the top ledge doing it this way, and that's because you're holding A for a longer period of time rather than when you're frame advancing. So I'll show off my setup right now. So you're going to sort of do your spin dash while neutral sticking, jump while neutral sticking, and then you're going to pause. Now, as soon as you pause, you want to hold the direction you want to go in, which is straight right, and then you want to unpause using the A button, continue holding the A button until you clear the ledge, and then you want to loop speed launch as soon as you get past the ledge. So it's going to look like this. So I'll show that off again right now. You're going to see I'm getting a lot more height doing it this way. So with the one pause method, things that can go wrong especially are not clearing the ledge. It's the hardest thing to do because you just don't have a lot of awareness of where the ledge is. And if you wait too long, you end up doing that. So you kind of have to hit a sweet spot, which is like right after the ledge, but you didn't like wait. The other thing that can go wrong is with what just happened is menuing. So if you don't like hold straight right and you end up holding like just slightly straight down, you're going to end up doing this and hitting either restart or something else, and that's just not what you want to happen. But yeah, there's the ledge again. There's the ledge again. And there's it without the ledge. If you have any questions about the trick, just let me know in the comments or message me. There's so much more I could talk about, but I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long. Give it a shot. A lot of it's trial and error, and if you find yourself like totally like lost, just hit me up and I'll help you out. Thank you again, and I hope you have a good one.